This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
And we're back.
Well, now that it's spring, the scenery is gorgeous. It's not going to be prettier any other time of the year, so it's a great time to get around. And that reminds me, tickets are available for the Symphony in the Flint Hills. That's June 11th. So make sure you check out their website. And of course, the scenery is always gorgeous for that. And there's just not a part of the state that's not pretty this time of year, is there, Frank?
Well, and that especially because out in the Flint Hills and when the sun's going down and the symphony starts and it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
good as life gets, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, this next segment, we're going to talk about White Cloud, which is the very northeast corner of Kansas. And you got me thinking about this when you were talking about the motorcycle trip to the Four Corners of Kansas. So one time I'd taken a van tour. It was I think it was a Bleeding Kansas tour north of the Kansas River. So White Cloud was one of our stops, and the overlook in White Cloud. And again, this myth that Kansas is flat. You know, we've got these we're punctuated by these tabletop landscapes. But that's just the punctuation. Everything in between is not flat. It is anything but flat.
Well,
and White Cloud.
Yeah, especially that northeast corner. It's like, what state am I in?
That overlook is spectacular. And you can see Nebraska, Missouri, and Iowa from that overlook. So we take this van tour up there, and it's been a long day on this tour. And we get everybody out, and they're standing there on the platform at the overlook and spontaneously break into singing Home on the Range. It was totally unplanned, and it was just one of these unique Kansas moments. It was really, really special. So
White Cloud is a really good place to find all kinds of antiques too.
That's right. They have the big sale in the
big
fall of the
flea market.
year.
Yep.
It's huge, and it's just a really neat little town. And now they got the casino up there, you know, close by, and it's not far, but it's just work. And another thing they've got up close by is the Highland Indian Mission is not far from White Cloud. So that's within striking distance, you know, to go to the Highland Indian Mission, which is really good. We'll do a segment on that one day too. Mahushka was his name. In English, White Cloud. For the Iowa tribe dwelling in these Missouri River bluffs, he was their chief until killed in a battle with the Pawnee in 1854, the year of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, when whites came pouring into the territory. It didn't take long for the newcomers to realize that these bluffs were the ideal location for a town, and it thrived, fed by the steamboats that docked at its front door. At its height, the town had a couple of thousand souls. Now it is less than a couple of hundred. But the architecture of the heyday remains, and the town is on the National Historic Register. Twice a year, the population swells once again as White Cloud hosts one of the oldest flea markets in the region. The first Sunday in May and the weekend surrounding it, and the first Sunday in September and the weekend surrounding it, hundreds of vendors line the streets and crowd into the public spaces, and thousands of visitors come from far-flung states to search for treasures. McCall's magazine named White Cloud one of the top 10 flea markets in the country. According to event officials, the Mahushka Museum has not been opened in several years, but is reopening for this year's events. This museum is full of awesome artifacts, and the building itself is a historical landmark. Another claim to fame of this iconic small town is the creation of the piggy bank. Ironically, not as a means to accumulating wealth, but in an act of great generosity. In the early 1900s, a 10-year-old boy, impressed by a traveling missionary's sermon about lepers, decided to help. The young Wilbur Chapman raised a pig, sold it, and donated the $25 raised to a boy suffering from leprosy. Wilbur's gesture caught the imagination of the public and started the Pig Bank movement to help lepers, and the name Piggy Bank was coined. A plaque commemorating the boy and the idea of the piggy bank is mounted on the Community Christian Church on Main Street. The headquarters and reservation of the Iowa tribe of Kansas and Nebraska are just west of town, and the tribe operates a casino there. You'll find this scenic small town is rich in stories.